Okay, I actually took this trade on crude. I just happened to be checking it out and saw this happen. Problem is I think there's a report coming up in 15 minutes. So the only chart I looked at was a 1 minute, which is dangerous. This level right here decided to hold right here. I was looking at the total volume here with the total volume here. Volume deltas are pretty close to each other, but the total volume, that's a lot of total volume right there compared to these levels right over here. So that's one reason why I decided to short it. I got in just below this candle here after it closed. And then I'm also looking at this right here. We had geometry going up. Geometry was completed, then it came down and tried to go higher. Right now, point D is holding right now, so that means we could take out this high. But the completion of geometry is usually a pretty good place for rotation. One thing that would concern me a little bit is we may be going higher because from A to B it retraces 25 degree or a percent held. It could never make it back to the 38.2. That makes this a very strong move, and we could be going here. So you'll definitely have to be aware of that. That's what I was looking at here, and I didn't look at any other time frame. I should have. I did not. So, and we are in a trend here. So I basically went against everything. But I understand what's happening right here. And that's why I was willing to jump in here. We'll see what happens. I haven't traded crude in a long time, actually, so we need to confirm a swing low and go after this right here is what we need. We need to attack this level right here. We need to create a lower low because we've been creating higher lows, and that's why we have a trend going on, higher highs and higher lows. So we need to take out this low right here is what we need. My target's at this swing right here is where my target is. I just threw it on there because it was a low, or a swing low. So the only thing that concerns me is the report. I think there's a report at 9:30. I didn't verify that, but it's usually on Wednesdays at 9:30. I say 9:30 my time. So I'm in Central Time, so it's 9:30. We need to go after this lower right here and close below it. It's very dangerous to take a trade when you're only looking at the 1 minute. I just happened to be going through different instruments and noticed this. So, which I don't normally sit here and scan different instruments. I usually only look at one, and that's the one I concentrate on. So, let's see what we're going to do here. Sorry about that. We need to take out this low here. If we cannot get below this low, we cannot get lower. I would love to have this right here hit before the report, because the report could throw this thing either direction a lot, and I don't usually mess around with the report. I'm usually sitting on my hands for reports for anything. So okay, we don't have any printout here for AMGAN swing. So let's see what happens here. We still have a higher low than here, so we need to take out that low. And we do have a pullback short and a Stooges short. So can we take out that low right here? If we can't, we're going higher. And sometimes what happens is we get this extreme high. By extreme high, I mean, yes, we have highs over here, but in this move here, this is the extreme high. All through here, this is the extreme high. Because it is actually higher than these little tiny highs here. So I look at there being an extreme high, which is way up here, and an extreme high in an area. I look at both. Sometimes we get a high, and we come down and get a low, and we come back up and get another high, whether it takes this one out or gets very close, and that's what creates the divergence, or the effort no result to roll over. So, and you have to be aware of that. So, and I have no idea what's going on in any other time frames, which is not a good thing. So this is 1 minute. Usually 1 minute I have inbox histogram on, so I can tell if there's supply or demand coming in. And I don't have that either. But I don't want to take a chance on trying to add it now, because I don't know what will happen. So the last thing I want to do is mess anything up right now. So we have the extreme high in this area, which I was talking about, and what that can also do. An extreme high can also create the beginning of geometry, which is the beginning of a new trend, right there. A, B, C, D. And you have to have those. A geometry has to be somewhere in order to have a trend, because that is the trend. That's the beginning of a trend. Have an extreme high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. That's how trends get started. So, and this was just a trade I just happened to notice really quick. I probably shouldn't have even gone near it, because I didn't look at any other time frames. And I always like looking at the hourly. Always. I just happen to notice the numbers at this level right there. And this one here did close above it. That's why I almost did not take it. This candle here did close above it, but this one here opened up in a gap, and then it closed below it. By the gap, I mean this candle here closed up here. This candle opened lower than this candle's close. So a gap was created between this close and this open. But it went up and closed that gap right away, and then came down and closed. So once this candle here closed, I entered at the low of this candle when this candle came through. So I did notice that. We need to take out this low. We need a candle to close below this low. We have 4.5 minutes before the report. And I would truly like to be out before then. But they're going to slow down and die basically going into the report. So the report will have a huge move one direction or the other. So. And that was another reason why I almost didn't take the trade, knowing the report was pretty close. Is that the overnight low? Yes, this is the overnight low right here. So I will put this right here. Where is the prior day's low? Prior day's low is right. Oh yeah. We're basically, the prior day's low is between these two right here. It's almost right in the middle of it. So it's good to know where that is. So we're basically at the prior day low, which is not a good thing sometimes. That's why price is having trouble getting through this. The prior day's low is right here somewhere. And that's why we're having trouble getting beyond this to go short. But we need to close below this. And that could also create divergence right here. If this was to close below here, we could get divergence right here to go long. Right there. And I'm using the numbers here. I'm not using the box histogram for a visual thing. I'm using the numbers here to tell me what's going on. See, we cannot get below here. So reports in 2 minutes, a minute and a half. So let's see what happens. If we close below here before report, I will trail to +2 maybe. We need to take out this low. And this right here shows me there's a weakness coming down here. So we're probably not going to take out this low. But it looks like we are below. The prior day's low is between these two, somewhere in the middle. It looked like. So we are below yesterday's low, actually. So, and I'm just eyeballing it. I did not draw it on here. I know it's almost in the middle of these two levels right here. And that's where we're below. So if we can turn over and take out this low, which we have a trend pullback short and a trend stooge short and a negative volume delta. And here comes a report in half a minute. So what happens here? We're probably going higher. I believe the yesterday's low is somewhere around that area right there. That was report, and this is what happens. It takes off. That's why I don't mess with reports. So I'm going to trail to there. This fractal right here, and I just have this at the swing. Hey, it got me. I went down and hit my target. So I'm okay with that. I don't ever trade reports. I can't say never now because I just traded reports, but I was in it before. And my target was at this swing low. So I got taken out, and that's good. I don't know, but I understood why I jumped in a trade. I actually wasn't thinking about the report when I jumped in a trade until right at the very end, as I was placing the trade. So, thanks.